Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah. Can I make you groove now? Yes, I can. So you can get this groove in a bag of can. Put the make it round the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. It's a popcorn world. The popcorn world.
You're now listening to the Brothers of the Five. At shooting guard, it's your boy, Killer Cam. At small forward, it's Reggie Love. At point guard, C Major. At power forward, Al B. And at center, Mr. Noise, Lloyd Spence. And now, the Brothers of the Five.
Add one more plus me and
Yo, what's going on, good people? We are here, and we're coming in hot right from the start. We're coming in hot right from the start. Breaking news, or what we like to call our breaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an announcement to make. In case you haven't heard, in case you've been under a rock somewhere, you didn't know what was going on. Our guy, Mr. John Alexander, is now Chicago Bear. Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. He is headed to, is it Champaign? Is it in Champaign? Where's it at? Champaign, Illinois?
The Windy
Chicago? The Windy City?
The Champagne Room, something else, Lord.
Okay. Maybe my mind is on some other things right now.
Champagne may be University of Illinois.
Okay, I know it somewhere. But listen, shout out to him. Congratulations. We're excited for him. Uncle Cam, what was that process like for you, sir? Waiting it out to see how it was all going to unfold.
Well, I know me and you talked about that. That's kind of how my prediction was gonna. That's kind of how I thought it may happen.
Very true. You've been saying Chicago from the start. You don't know why you got that premonition, but you got it.
And then I didn't know that at the end of those rounds, though, I saw somebody like the Patriots because they go off the radar. I never wanted to say that, but they go off the radar. They're like, man, who is this guy? Like, where this guy come from?
Yeah.
So it was all good,
Much like their GM did here, by the way. Just FYI. They go off the rail. Like, why are you picking that guy?
So it was all good, man. It was an experience. Me and John going back and forth.
Yeah.
He was excited. And I'm like, you good? You know what I'm saying? The longer you wait. John, you good? Talk to me. What's up? Oh, we good. Like we gonna be playing on Sundays. We good. You know what I mean? Like, so it was different. I love how everything has shaped. I love how everything has come together all the way from the college experience to the Charlotte experience to the learning experience in Charlotte to where you at right now. So now you get to go play with a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh, how good that is for a rookie.
You know who I would love for him to touch base with if it's possible? Ryan Clark.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect. That'd be a perfect conversation right now for him. Another undrafted rookie,
Yep.
wasn't on anybody's board, wasn't on anybody's radar per se. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden got into the league. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, we drafted him. I think we drafted him, and yeah, we drafted him, and now our problem back then wasn't that he wasn't good. I think it was just he came into a crowded situation.
True.
And so it was just hard to find him time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doing what he does best. But it's interesting because I see some parallel there in that the level of intelligence, the level of understanding, the hunger, the desire, those type of things. There's a parallel that interests me there. So,
well, and a position parallel too, right? But
right.
One thing that I think, somebody like Ryan Clark talking to John today, the value there is also in what you do today affects you tomorrow.
Yes.
Right. And so, like, look at my after football career. And I'm not saying you need to be on TV, right, when you're done, but what you do next in life, after 35, after 40 should be on your mind today.
Absolutely.
And once you start discovering what that path is, doing things today that help influence, right? Because Ryan Clark's going to tell you he's where he is today because of things that he did, right? People he befriended, relationships that he created and sustained, the way that people perceived him as a teammate, and you know what I mean? So
yeah, I think that'd be good. So is he prepared for the summer and the winter? Like it gets cold in Chicago.
He ain't got no coat.
Better get a coat.
That's a different kind of cold in Chicago, man.
Big
That's
coat.
a different kind of cold.
He you know what, I would say that he blessed me, he encouraged me, because I was like, after it was over with, we talked, I let him have the moment all the way to the end of the night.
Of course.
Hit me up before you go to bed. Everybody's blowing you up and stuff like that. And he's like, we good. I said, well, talk to me. I said, I know you're gonna be good. Like, no, we good. He said, because you know what I'm saying, once I seen you, once you put your mind to it, ain't nothing gonna stop you. He said, so I got the same mentality. He said, so listen to me, we good, so just to hear him talk like that.
Yeah.
Because I already know what he brings on the field, and
right.
We've had that conversation. I don't need to have the conversation with him anymore. Hey, bro, it's 15 other people on that team that's better than you in your position. You got to go get it, make it happen. You know what I mean? So the hunger is there, the workout regimen is there, the knowledge of the game is there. You got the inside track. The coach is there for you. Like you need to just go deliver straight up.
Well, yeah. Now he's got to go become a Bear, and that's the challenge. How do I go become something that this team can't do without?
Absolutely.
And how do I and vice versa? How do I make this team better? If I can do that and demonstrate that on a day-to-day basis, man, you could be around a long time. Do have some breaking news that just broke just like 6 minutes ago. This is somewhat interesting, I think.
Baker Mayfield went to the Giants.
No, that is not. That wouldn't be. I said breaking news, not tragedy. I said the Nets just announced, according to Nick Friedel via Adrian Wojnarowski, that Ben Simmons is undergoing a microdiscectomy procedure tomorrow to alleviate pain caused by the herniated disc in his back.
Okay.
Unless they're doing a brain replacement.
So what does that mean exactly? I guess?
It means they're trying to say that his back was far worse than what people thought that it was. That they're rewriting. I don't say rewriting the narrative, but they're trying to clean the narrative up
Of why he didn't play.
Which
That's all it is.
Again, okay. Like all I can say to it is okay because it's a back injury. I don't know what a back injury. I don't know. So if you tell me it's a herniated disc, if you tell me if you feel it a pitch, then I gotta go with what you say. I felt very uncomfortable with people talking about the back part of it because I don't know what that is. I don't have any problem with people talking about the mental side of it because I do know what that is. But the back part of it, I don't know what that is.
But
So
why hadn't that been there, though, Lloyd? Why hadn't that been a topic of conversation the last 4 months? Do you know how much heat and pressure, right, that would have taken off of Ben Simmons? Because at the end, you got Nash out there for 2 straight weeks saying
he might show up.
It's nothing physical, right? We're just waiting on him, right? Same thing the Sixers were doing all year. We're just waiting on him to decide he's mentally ready to step on the court and play in an NBA game. And he said that repeatedly.
Yeah.
And Simmons was still questionable for, game 4 or game 4 of that series, right? Game 3 is questionable. Game 4 is questionable. So, why? Right? Game 1, why? Why have him on the bench stressed out like that where he can get in trouble or get called out or get, you know what I mean?
I think that is an incredibly fair question to ask. And the answer that I have for you, Jesse, is I don't know. Because if I'm trying to rebuild a guy's mentality, that's the first thing I do. Wait a minute. Hold on. Because, see, first of all, what was the reason why he left Philly? He left Philly because he didn't what? He didn't trust those guys. So if I'm trying to reestablish trust and let him know that he's in a safe place, that we're listening, we understand, I'm going to say to him, hey, it ain't what y'all think it is. It's this. So I stand up for my guy. Now, maybe they still don't know if he's that guy or not. So I don't know. But we're going to see. Before we get back to that, listen, I want to continue to celebrate. Let's bring in the man himself. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest Chicago Bear.
Nephew.
What's up?
John Alexander's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, sir.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
How you feel?
I feel pretty good. So I'm heading out there tomorrow.
Okay.
Business.
Okay.
You got the mink coat yet? Because you're gonna need it.
Oh yeah. I mean,
You gotta go heavy, man. Listen, that's a different kind. They don't even call that a hawk. That's like a pterodactyl. That thing is cold up in that joint.
Yes, sir.
So
Hey,
talk.
Have
Go ahead,
you
Jess.
practiced the Super Bowl shuffle yet?
Nah,
Yeah, you
I
didn't
ain't
know
know
that.
That's part of rookie minicamp in Chicago. You got to do the Super Bowl shuffle before
You
you
gotta
get
learn
on.
it, boy.
Yeah, you got to
just
show
get
them
on
the history.
YouTube.
You got to know the history.
Yeah, get on YouTube. Get on YouTube. You
You
got
gotta know they won a Super Bowl in '85. You hear me? You could agree.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh God. Listen. Start to familiarize yourself with the names, sir. If you need some help, we'll send you some text. We'll inbox you. But they're gonna ask you about the names. Oh, you muted. You muted, John. You muted. Or maybe meant to mute.
My fault. What was it?
No, we
Okay.
said start to familiarize yourself with the names. They take football very seriously there.
Nah, for sure.
Also know which Chicago piece is your favorite.
Yeah.
Like these are little things that you need to know. Talk to us about the process. What was the process like?
Duh, Bears.
It was pretty easy. I mean, basically they call you whenever they considering drafting you, stuff like that, and then they basically leave it up to you. How would you feel if we did this? How would you feel if we didn't do this? Stuff like that, and you just go with that. Like it's your choice. Me and my agents on the phone, we made the decision. We made the decision to go and draft. We got 2-3 years locked in instead of 4 years locked in, and then be able to renegotiate our contract after that. So.
Do you feel like you with a good fit? Do you like where you landed?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to the safety coach before I signed and stuff like that, and basically his vision for me was to be in the game on first, second down, and then be at safety first, second down, then go into the box or either go to nickel on third down. So I feel like they maximizing the opportunity for me instead of just being at safety or just being at wheel or just being at nickel. Because I've heard different teams say they want me in different positions, but that's the first team that want me to be like flexible. So. Yes,
all right, so we're gonna have something with on the show today. We didn't plan this, but I feel like it's necessary. We're gonna call this the uncle moment. So the uncle's about to give you we all about to give you our uncle wisdom and tell you, okay, now listen to his nephew. All right, this is where we're going. So I want to start with Jesse. Jesse, you start, you give him the uncle moment that you want to give him, and then we'll go from there. We'll make our way around the room.
Stay humble, right? I know your heart, John, and your love for others, right? Let that shine through everything that you do. They already know you're talented, right? And the skill you bring to the table. Otherwise, you wouldn't be under contract with an NFL team. So, what are they going to learn about your heart? And what are they going to learn about you? Where the only thing that matters, right, is that the Chicago Bears win. How do you exude that every single day, right? And every once in a while, you give them one of those 20 seconds left against Duke kickoff coverage tackles, and I think you're going to be all right.
Yeah. All right. Chad, you got an uncle moment you want to share with him?
Man, just make sure that you go in there. I know you're gonna be professional, everything. Just make sure that they know that you're gonna be the hardest worker out there on the field, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for hard work. I had one of my cousins. He was an undrafted rookie, played for the Cowboys and was in the league for some years, and he parlayed that to a nice little coaching job. So as far as think about the plan, and also you want to focus on your after playing days, as far as connections, but just make sure that you put all into it, man, because you got the opportunity now. So there's nowhere to go but up, man.
Yes, sir.
I like it. So I'm gonna come a different way, because we got to save the biological uncle for last, so we can't just be, I'm gonna come a different way, because I'm always thinking about media stuff and that kind of stuff. Endure yourself to everything and everybody. Show the people in the building and outside the building that you're for this team. That it's not just about John and his situation and what he wants to do, and I'm gonna make a name for myself and all those things. All of those things are gonna come. If you do what you're supposed to do, all that other stuff is gonna come. But man, when people know that you are really truly for them, they'll move heaven and earth to make sure that you are a part of them. They don't ever want to lose that somebody that they know is for them. So now is the time for you to truly become a Chicago Bear. And here's the other piece of great one I can give you. Love everybody in that building, from the janitor to the guy who loads your locker. Get to know him even on a first name basis, man. Say, hey, man, Joe, man, I appreciate you, man. Every day you keep my locker tight, bro. I sure appreciate you. You be surprised how far those gestures like that go, and how they spread like wildfire across the building. Be the guy that everybody wants in that building. Everybody wants in that building. And if you do that and demonstrate, because I know you're going to demonstrate what you need to demonstrate on the field. And then even with the media, be the guy. Yeah, losses suck. They suck. They're terrible. But be the guy that when they come to you, you always got the right thing to say. If you can master those type of things, man, I'm already gonna cheer for you. It's gonna hurt. Like, I don't, it's the Bears. I'm not cheering for the Bears. I'm only cheering because of you. You know that, right? So I'm even gonna buy some gear. Like once you get your number and all that stuff, I'll buy it. Whatever. Now, I'm not gonna wear it out. I'm gonna wear it in the house.
Come on.
I'm just kidding. I'm gonna wear it out too. But my point is, if you all in, I think everybody else will be all in too. So that's my humble advice to you. So my uncle moment. All right, Uncle Cam, you've been giving advice all his life, but what other thing you got?
I will tell y'all a quick story, just a real quick story. And it was sum up everything I have to tell him. John was bad growing up. He was bad.
Were you bad, John?
In people's eyes, he was bad.
Spoiled.
He was spoiled. That's all.
There you go. There you go.
He was the youngest, right? And so he was the one that always got to get away with everything. And even with his mama. He got to get away with everything. And then he would get to this other age and creep up to the 8, 9, 10, 11. And then certain people would want to discipline him because he was always in trouble. And I was like, no, I can't do that. I tell you what, he can go with me. I got John. He go with me because I can't let y'all do that because he's not bad. He just want to be involved in everything, right? And then like 12, 13, 14 creeped up and like, John, why are you doing it? And John, well, you talk to my uncle if you don't like it, because they did nothing wrong, It was always that kind of a thing, right? That's the relationship we had was like, not that I'm bailing him out, it's just like, I'm going to protect him, right?
Right.
Well, I would say all that stuff that has transpired all the way up to Kansas State, Charlotte, everything. I think it was all to make you who you are today, John. And now you don't need Uncle Cam. You've done a good job. You're a man. You did this yourself. I would say, especially the physical aspect and the mind. And listen, every time you talk to this boy, his friends at the club, they doing this, and this boy at home playing Madden. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm just studying the playbook. I'm trying to learn some new stuff. It's like his study, his technology that's inside that brain. It's always going to try to learn something. So I would say put all that together, wrap that up, put a perfect project out there on the field, and do what you do. You made it, man. This is what you have built your entire life for, not even knowing, all the stuff you went through, all the trials and the complaints and all this. And John, I don't like John doing this. All this stuff is for the mentality that you have right now. You are a boy among men. You are a man among boys. Excuse me. Like your attitude and the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, people gravitate towards that.
Yeah.
You're gonna have some of these older players there that's looking for something like that. They looking for somebody like that, So I would tell you to just do what you do, man. I think you've done a wonderful job. I'm extremely blessed, and I'm happy just to see what you've become. Get out there, work your ass off for those 4 years, and go to Indy as an unrestricted free agent.
No. That's where it all fell off the rails. Listen. You saw what we did in the draft. We're building something. We're gonna call you out. We're gonna call you out for these 4 years, but
he's not going to East Rutherford, bro. He's coming to Indy.
Listen,
You can
Chicago, you can have
John, go do what you got to do with the Bears, and I'll come over to the Bears too.
Man, you could always come back home, man. It's easy for your family.
No, don't come back home. Don't come back home either. Don't do that either. Let me ask you a question, John. Has it sunk in yet that somebody is about to pay you to play football? Like this is now your career. Has that sunk in yet?
Honestly, I was honestly just talking to my coach right now. I'm at Eastern Hills High School right now. I just talked to the kids.
Yeah.
I was just telling the kids, like, with the contract that I have right now, it doesn't guarantee that I'm on the 53-man roster. And I was telling them, like, basically just how the draft process works, all that. Man, if you're not a first round pick, if you're not a top 10 picks in the second round, you're not on the 53-man roster.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I was like, so basically anybody can get cut at any point during this summer. And I was basically telling them, like, so what my mindset is, anybody can get cut. So, like, what is there to be happy about? And that was my thought process as soon as I got the call from the Bears. Like, it's cool. I really just posted it just to show my family this one would be. I wasn't posting it I didn't know I was going to receive all that love. Like, even right now when I had y'all on mute when I was outside, like, somebody randomly just came to me like, hey, man, you that boy that just signed with the Bears. I don't even know who this is. But,
Right.
But it's cool. It's cool to receive this love, but for me, this is not the final, spot that I want to be in. But to answer your question, honestly, it has sunk in now, just seeing my peers not get the same opportunity that I'm getting. Because, like, for me at first, it was like, it's cool, whatever, but it's not whatever. But then, like, seeing my peers not even get this opportunity, it's like, okay, like, this might be something. And then seeing, like, even other people who did get the opportunity, who they calling, like, hey, man, we actually gonna go with this guy instead of you. It's like, oh, they really cut down to the wire before we even get to the spot.
Yeah.
So, it kind of it's sinking in day by day, honestly.
It's a business, and that's why we titled the show "The Next Level," because people don't understand You know, we were talking to Charlie about the NBA side of the draft, and he was just saying he didn't even go. He was like you, he didn't go. He was like, I'm not going. I don't know where. Now he ended up going in the first round. And he was like, I didn't know I was going to go in the first round. And then the football side of it is, here's a guy that had just won the Heisman and didn't get drafted.
Yeah.
So there's no, you're right, you're 1,000% correct. There's no guarantees, but there's levels to this though. And you've made it to the next level. And that's the thing that you got to get excited about just the opportunity that God has opened up for you. It's a blessing to be able to, like you said, to be able to have just the opportunity. And I've always said this about myself, and I would say this about you. If I can get in the room, I feel like I can stay in the room.
Yep. 200%.
So that's how you got to look at it. If I get in, I feel like I got enough to stay. So you got to just continue to say that to yourself, and just like we talked about with all the uncle advice we give you here today, just keep doing what you're doing, man. And
man, I really say like well, Uncle Cam know him. I don't know if the rest of y'all know him. Jeff Holland. He was just up here. And I really just told my uncle, he was just like he was like, man, I'm so proud of you, man. You got the discipline, man. He was like, every time we would tell you, man, like stay from around those dudes. You never was around them again. And I was just like, Uncle, like, I feel you on that. And he was like, I was like, but y'all don't understand, man. It take a village. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I'm listening, like, because everybody keep reiterating, like, you listen to this dude, you listen to this dude, you listen to your mama, you listen to your nanny, you listen to your grandpa. I'm like, man, it took all of y'all. You know what I mean? Because it took me hearing it from you guys, but seeing it from the uncle who went through the struggle. You know what I mean? Seeing it from the uncle who did stuff different. So, man, like, personally, like, I tell everybody right now how I'm feeling more grateful, like, that I listened to you guys and that you guys, like, took the time out to reach out and give me that information. You know, because, like, I really tell y'all, like, even when y'all feel like, you know, we not looking or we not listening, like, we listening, even if we being hard-headed, we just, you know, you saying don't touch the stove. I heard you say don't touch the stove, but let me just touch the stove just in case I can touch this. It's hot. Okay, I'm not going to touch. You said you was right.
It was exactly what he said it was.
You know, like, everybody told me don't get on that dirt bike, but, you know, hold on, y'all. Let me see what the dirt bike do first. And then I get, you know, then it's, yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm in a position. I just told my uncle, I was like, man, I can't sit back and say that I changed anything about the past because, like, it just made me who I am, you know. But, like, it could have put me in different positions. But at the end of the day, where I'm at is a blessing. So I'm going to just take full advantage of the present. And, you know, that'll take care of the future, you know, instead of just worrying about the past.
John, the only thing I got to say, brother, is Chicago Bear tickets go on sale next Thursday. And all I'll say to this panel is this year on the schedule, there will be a Bears home game against Dallas.
Okay.
A Bears home game against the Giants, and a Bears home game against the Patriots.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
We might have some excuses.
We may have some excuses. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at season tickets, but there's like a list and shit.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, that was close.
I'll say this too. Something just popped in my head. One of the challenges that's going to be interesting for you in this next level is that your first competitor is also your teammate.
Yeah.
And finding the balance of that is going to be tricky. Right?
Team first.
Because it's team first, but that's also the guy sitting next to you, and it's a beauty pageant, right? Who you know, I'm lining you both up. You know, if all things are equal, what's the one separator that makes me pick you over him? That kind of thing. So finding that balance of humility and helpfulness, but also being able to find that balance of standing out and being exactly what the team needs.
Yeah.
Just continually, you know, massage that in your mind, massage that in your spirit. It's gonna be tricky, but you can do it.
You know, one thing that I tell all the young dudes that's headed to the next level, like, cause I be training and playing on stuff, so you know that's where all the high scale guys are. You know, that's going Power 5 and stuff. And I tell them, man, like, one thing that I see now that I didn't see when I was at Kansas State, like, just what you're saying, is that man, when I got to this level, when the Bears was calling me, Miami Dolphins, New York Jets, all these teams calling me, and they like, yeah, we like a couple of plays of special teams as well. And I'm like, man, I could have did so much more on special teams, but I was thinking like, when could I have? And I was thinking like Kansas State, and then it shocked like, because Kansas State, I wasn't starting every single game. I wasn't playing a lot. Well, I played a lot every single game, but I wasn't starting every single game. So we both of the safety, we both played the same amount of reps, but I just didn't start. And it used to mess with my mind that I wasn't starting, but I never realized that I was playing just as many snaps. And I really was saying, man, that was the perfect time for me to be bugging the special team coordinator, like, hey, man, let me get on this. And that just keep building my value. And so where I'm going right now with this angle in Chicago, first thing I asked safety coach, hey, I understand y'all want me at safety and nickel, and I know you like my film, but what special teams looking like?
Hey, John, before the show started, so you remember my shout out, I said give him one of those Duke tackles right at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That's special teams. But two, we were talking before the show. Lloyd, Cam, and I were on the show.
Literally just having this conversation.
Literally just talking about this, right? And I told him, I said, if I told John right now, John, I'm going to give you, how about a borderline Hall of Fame, potential Hall of Fame NFL career, 15 years in the league and $100 million in your back pocket. Are you signing today?
200%.
Are you signing? Would you sign up for that right now?
200%.
Okay. All right. Well, that's Matthew Slater.
Yeah, 200%. The Pacers
So-
are my team.
So, like, you can still be anything you want to be, right?
Hey, Matthew Slater been in the Pro Bowl the last 6 years or something.
Come on.
So you don't need to just to be, like
As long as you're on the field.
So that's my whole perspective going into it. Like it's honestly sneaking in through the back door. You know,
John, if that's your perspective, you're gonna be just fine. If you hold on to what you just said, you're gonna be just fine.
That's right.
Just keep that forward. Man, you got me goosebumps when you said that just now. I'm like, okay, he got it. He ready.
Yeah.
You ready.
I just told
man.
the kids, I said, man, the position I'm in is God sitting me down, man. Like from me being in the position I'm in with undrafted to me being in Chicago, like I was like, man, this guy sitting me down. Because one thing you're not gonna do in Chicago, you're not finna wild out and buy no big chain and be seen and draw all this attention to you in Chicago.
No, that ain't the play.
Exactly.
That's real.
They wouldn't
that ain't the play.
It's too cold. You have a coat on.
Hey,
Yeah.
that ain't the play for several reasons in Chicago. You get that right on the head. But you know what we do is caught on the south side with one of them chains on.
Southside got gentrified. I think it's the west side.
Is the west side down? Okay.
Any side,
No, it ain't the east side, Chad. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I
Down a
told
lick.
him I was like, man, so like I'm in a perfect position to just sit down, just worry about what I really have to worry about, like real assets, things that's bringing me money, instead of like being flashy or having the best this, best that. So I'm really ready though, for sure.
It sounds like it, man. It sounds like you're ready. We're excited, man. I haven't cheered for the Bears since '85, so this is gonna be strange, but we got you. I'm all in Sunday after Sunday.
Yeah. Now, if they let you pick your jersey number, you going with 1 or 17?
I mean, honestly, I didn't even like 17. I just got that because I didn't care about numbers. But I can't get 1 because Justin Fields got it.
Yeah, he ain't getting 1. That's out.
Oh, yeah.
You're not getting the quarterback number.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, it just depends, honestly. I'm going there with a blue collar mindset, honestly. So I'm not worried about number. I'm not worried about looking good. None of that right now. I'm worried. These first 2 years of my contract,
Just make the number. You make the number. Yeah.
That number. I'm worried about the other numbers coming after that.
Right. Worry about the ones with the commas, not the single ones.
Yeah.
For real.
That's a well put way.
That's good, man. That's good. Well, listen, man. Again, we proud of you.
Hey, Lloyd.
Yes, sir.
He already been fitted for the jacket. Chris Carter already put the jacket on him.
Well, he did put the jacket on you.
Then you got to go earn it.
I mean, he showed you the finish line. Now you just got to run.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah,
he showed you the finish line for sure.
Steve Smith to being in your ear. You got people already telling you what you got to do. They were doing that for a reason. They already saw. So go get it.
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Well, yeah, man. Well, we're super proud of you, man. So let's get this done, man. Let's get it done.
Yes, sir, Mo. Appreciate y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, the newest
Congrats.
Chicago Bear.
Yes, sir.
Our favorite Chicago Bear. Mr. John Alexander, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, boy, go get him, man. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you something. He talking right. He talking right. If he truly believes everything he just told us, he's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, I see that right now.
Hey, if he even fakes it till he makes it, he's
Right. He'll be just fine. Right.
fucking
Right.
pretend, motherfucker. Put on a show,
Right.
right?
If you
It's
can-
fucking theater class. Like,
However you wanna
the
do it.
makeup room is, right? I gargle some salt water. I don't care.
Yeah. That is the right thing to say. That is the right mentality. All things are lining up. So that's good stuff, man. I'm glad we were able to do that. So while we know the Chicago Bears won a great player, but as we get to question one, who do y'all think won the overall NFL draft?
Woo.
I hate to say it. The Eagles, man. I think the Eagles was did pretty good on their drafting Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean.
We including trades made on draft night.
Everything.
Not just draft
And,
picks.
Everything.
and then AJ, getting AJ, that was big too. So I think they had a pretty good draft, unfortunately. And also like Cam was mentioning, Indianapolis did good as well. I think they did a pretty good job of filling the needs that they needed. So
Can I ask you a question? Since you mentioned you started with the Eagles, that's a great place to start. What am I missing? I've been watching the draft for 30 years. I've been deeply paying attention to it for 25.
I know where this is going.
What am I missing about Jordan Davis that I don't understand? Because to me, the guy that I saw in college football this past year, that to me stood above everybody, literally and figuratively, was Jordan Davis. So I don't understand how they got him. I really don't get it. I understand why we meaning the Giants, we didn't get him. I get, because while he is a phenomenal player and maybe even a generational talent, he's not exactly what we needed. So I get why we didn't do it. Although, Jesus, I don't know. Am I crazy? What am I missing?
scouting department, man, I don't know. I guess they base their needs on different things, but I mean, if you're going with need and pure talent, I don't see why.
But who doesn't need a 341-pound wall?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't understand.
I feel like they were thinking too much, and they're probably going to pay for it. They're definitely going to pay for it.
Jesse, you said something a week or two ago, or maybe it was Cam. One of you said,
hold on. Lord, can I say something just on what you just brought up, though? Like
please.
With
Maybe you're going to go where I was wanting you to go anyway. Go
with
ahead.
Davis is you got Nakobe Dean.
Right, and that was the other thing I didn't understand.
And they got them both, right? First of all,
Right.
We've been talking about college connections for a while, right?
Right.
And how that pays off in the NFL, especially coming from some of these bigger programs. So you just got the two best players on Georgia's defense that had the best draft of any team ever. Put Kirby in a lane all by himself, right? He can go and tell anybody, right, I'm going to get you a national championship and get you drafted in the first 3 rounds. All you got to do is start on my defense.
Right.
Like that was that.
Not a bad selling
Then we
point.
get both of them.
NIL.
But I can't
No,
answer your question. If Davis goes 8, like I don't know why Dean went middle of the 3rd round, right?
Yeah, I didn't get that either. And selfishly, if it wasn't for Blake Martinez, I think we would have reached and got him. But because we feel like we're solid at linebacker,
And you are.
and we are. I mean, we are. But it's just like, I don't know, man. To me, there's times when talent does speak louder than need. There are those times, and to me, Jordan Davis is that time. Like we might not see another Jordan Davis for 10 years. So I don't know. I don't get it, but I can't argue what you said, Chad. The Eagles did well. Now I'm gonna say this: I don't necessarily love the AJ Brown thing as much as other people do, because I think there are a lot of AJ Browns. So that's my opinion about that.
He was the best receiver on his team.
Right. And so I don't and $100 million for 4 years, that's a lot of money for a guy that so far. Now you can blame Tannehill for some of this if you want to, but that's a lot of money for a guy to me that had great numbers, solid numbers, but didn't do anything transcendent to me that made him stand out and make me go, like, because how far down the list do you go before you get to AJ Brown as one of the best receivers in NFL?
You name 8 off the top right now that's better than him.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of the 8 that you're naming are rookies.
Some of them just got drafted.
Yeah. Some of them are rookie, and some of them are just first-year players.
Yeah.
Would you take AJ Brown over Jamar Chase? No. Would you take him over Jalen Waddle? No.
Jefferson? No.
No. So I'm saying I don't. They got what they felt like they needed, and that's perfectly fine. I just think I'm not as high on it as other people are. So what do you guys think about that? All of that.
I agree. I mean, I'm with you on that, especially when you're talking about that trade. I'm 1,000% with you. I mean, listen, they had the Jets did okay. They weren't even in my top 4, top 5 when you're talking about when you're talking about who had the best class anyway.
Okay, who are you putting it on?
For me, just based off the first picks, just the first picks.
Okay,
the first 2 picks that they picked.
Okay,
listen, I like what the Jets did, man.
I do.
Boy, you know, and it was for me. It's a toss up with the Jets and the Ravens. It's gonna be a lot of different things happening. I'm just waiting for the season. So of course I don't want to be biased to say my team, but for us not to have.
Well, we're gonna get to our teams in a minute. Yeah, we're gonna get to our teams in a minute, but
I think we had one of the best drafts there when you consider what we had.
So do y'all? I don't know as much about Garrett Wilson. That's the only one that was a little puzzling to me. Because is he really better than Olave? Okay, maybe. I don't know. That's the only one that was questionable. But I'm gonna tell you something. Jermaine Johnson. That is a steal to me. That is a steal to me. I think Jermaine Johnson is plug and play.
And they traded him to get him.
They trade and I think they made the right decision. I watched that kid's film, man, and I said, I don't understand why more people aren't talking about him. And listen, I think we got the more athletic and more upside defensive end in the draft in Kayvon Thibodeau. But the guy that's ready to step in and play right now, day one, is Jermaine Johnson.
Thanks.
It's for sure Jermaine Johnson.
But you win in the long haul on that.
Probably.
Okay.
Right. I'm not.
Let's say that.
Yeah. No. I'm not. Okay. I'm not. I get why. And see, it depends on what you want right now. If you think you can go compete right now, then to me, Jermaine Johnson is the guy you want. If you're trying to build something, which is what we're doing, then we got the right guy. But I do love that. What do y'all think about Breece Hall though? Do you love the Breece Hall? I like Breece Hall.
Haven't seen too much of his tape. So.
See, the Jets just need talent, right? And so they went out and got talent. And you say you haven't thought about Garrett Wilson too much or seen too much tape on him, right? think about this. Him
I've
and
seen it. I just don't
Olave,
know what it is.
Olave, Rutgers, and Jamison Williams were all in the same locker room at Ohio State.
Right.
Something
And it-
had to give, and the give was Jamison Williams. So all I'm saying, right, that tells me something about Garrett Wilson. So and then they picked the top running back, right, at that position. We already talked about Johnson being a steal. Like there, I think that was the best draft.
You think that was the best?
I think
Yeah.
it really was.
It's hard to argue that. And then I want to go to the Ravens because the Ravens are an interesting situation. So we all know about the Hollywood Brown situation, which, by the way, I can't even begrudge him for wanting out because I don't think, as that unfolded over the last 3 years, I don't think that's what they needed.
Yeah.
They don't need a guy that can go down the field and run past the secondary and Lamar just throw it up. They need somebody that is a possession, can move the chains guy. That's what they've always needed. And they still need that guy.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
About that? I would have lost my life on the draft day. Because me and Jesse even talked about it, especially in that second round, going to the fourth round, I would have betted my life that they finna couple those picks up and get Debo. And it would have made much sense to me. And I was like, why is this not happening? Debo Sanders is right there. Why is this
Well,
not-
but I think to that point, man, the price tag, and rightfully so, the price tag that San Francisco is putting out there is Tyreek Hill-esque, and maybe worse, because he does more. In some ways, Debo does more because you can turn around and hand him the ball. In addition to,
He does more if he plays.
well, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
Well,
That's a good
before
point.
the draft, we talked about teams who we thought was going to win it all next year. Do you remember who my team was already?
Well, San Francisco wasn't.
No,
Who was it? I'm sorry.
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Yeah, you did say Baltimore.
They're going to get all these players back that was hurt. And you had some of these second string, third strings that like, whoa, these guys are pretty good. So when you bring them in now, like you got a scheme, right? I thought a receiver is the only thing they missing. So I don't care what price tag it is. If you think that guy is worth it, that's going to get you over the hump, quarterback, Rams. If you think you see that guy, go get him and see what happens.
Well, to your point, let me ask this question. Because first of all, I do love what they did. I think they tried to move up and go get a receiver at 14, and they got jumped. And because if I remember correctly, let me go back to round one. They jumped up to 14.
I didn't
And
think that
like-
was a trade.
Right, that was a trade. They traded out to 14.
No, I didn't think that was it. You said that was a trade?
Yeah, they I thought they jumped up to 14, or was it? I'm trying to remember. They jumped up to 14 to get something because they weren't, or was it 25? I'm sorry, they jumped up to 25. Maybe that was the trade. Yeah, they jumped up to 25 to get to get something. They ended up taking the center Tyler Linderbaum, but they jumped up there, and at 18, and they did it relatively early. And I think they thought there was a possibility that Treylon Burks might fall that far, which in theory, had Tennessee not done that deal, he would have.
Yeah.
Because that's where most draft people had him. They had him in that 20 to 25 range. So I think they made the right move, but it didn't unfold the way they thought it was going to unfold. But with that being said, can all of this be fixed with the rumor that's out there, which is that they're in talks with trying to get Jarvis Landry?
That would be a good fit, I think. Him going there because he's somebody that can be able to stretch the field. And with the 3 picks in the draft, I feel like they got the best safety, the best center, And then, first round talent at linebacker, but he blew his Achilles. But I feel like that would work as far as Jarvis Landry being in Baltimore. I feel like he would be a good addition to them, and they still have Duvernay over there and some guys that are can catch the ball around.
Yeah, but for me, see, and that's the thing for me. They got the receiver from SMU. They had Brown. They had Duvernay. None of that stuff was even good on the field. Listen, you take Mark Andrews off the field, they in trouble.
They're in trouble.
Yeah, none of those receivers do it for me. And to be honest with you, Jarvis Landry don't do it for me. Is he good? Is he talented? Yes. But Jarvis, there's no other teams that's breaking their necks trying to get Jarvis Landry. Not like that.
Not right now. No, you're right.
He doesn't do it like that. You got to go. I mean, like I say, for me, like Chad, like you were saying, Cleveland. You think he's the answer? You think you're a quarterback away? Go trade the form and get him. And that's what they did. They're gonna be one of the top teams, I bet, in the AFC next year. Well, when his suspension is over with, like what the Rams just did. So, if we're talking about a receiver, and maybe the receiver is not the answer for what Lamar needs anyway. Maybe he needs another Mark Andrews. Maybe they need better defense. I don't know. I'm just saying. I feel like that receiver, if they could get like a Julio in his prime, somebody like that, I feel like it would take them over the top. Because now you can do a lot with Lamar Jackson now. By the way, I think the Ravens got the best player in the entire draft.
But
Kyle Hamilton?
Yes.
Yes.
You love Kyle Hamilton. Wow.
But before, I think Kyle Hamilton's the next perennial all defensive player for the Ravens, like the Ed Reeds and the Ray Lewises, etc. I think he's going to carry on that tradition. I think what I want to be careful of is make sure that I don't try to put what I think like one team that has all these pieces, right? Like not every team has Pro Bowlers at every position, right? So when I look at Baltimore and I look at their draft and their trades, they may very well replace Hollywood Brown. Better version, lesser version, similar version. They may go bigger on that. Who knows what happens, but they may still try to go get Debo, right? But they have drafted to their identity and to their culture, and they're focusing and they're doubling down on defense. And you've already seen them double down on their running game the last 2 to 3 years. They've just been injury after injury after injury, but they've got 3 or 4 guys back there that could turn into some incredible running duo behind Lamar Jackson. They loaded up on their offensive line with a Kelsey-like center. And they loaded up on defense. I think they told us who they're going to be. We are going to be a running team. We have a ton of talent and a ton of depth.
Punch in the mouth.
Our quarterback. We've loaded up on our line, and we're not going to let you score on us. We're going to hit you in the mouth. So what if we don't have Hollywood Brown?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
and again, I'm not sure that's a loss. I mean, I'm not sure Hollywood Brown brought that much to the table to where if you lose him, you're like, oh my God, the whole offense changes. No, if you lift them out and you lift somebody else in there. Now,
if
real
you
quick,
let them score 13 points a game and you control the ball on offense, right?
Right.
I love what Hollywood is, though.
Well, I like what he could potentially be, but he's never had the opportunity to be that until now. So we'll see.
I like him a whole lot more with Kyler Murray than I do with Lamar Jackson.
100%. Let me throw this out real quick. 10 receivers right now that are available in the Ravens. Which fits the Ravens system best? Odell Beckham Jr., Julio Jones, Emmanuel Sanders, Jarvis Landry, Cole Beasley, Will Fuller. That's an interesting one to me. John Ross, Albert Wilson, Keelan Cole, Adam Humphries. Those are the 10 best available wide receivers right now.
His name is Debo Samuel, and it's because he can play and catch as much, out of the backfield, which means the Ravens don't have to change their offensive sets, right? Which makes them much more unpredictable.
So do you box up one of those running backs, maybe Dobbins, and a bunch of picks and money and cash and gift cards and send it over to San Francisco?
San Francisco's 2 or 3 deep at running back right now with some youngins.
So how do you pry Debo out of their hands? That's the question. You got to have something they want, and I don't know what they have that they want other than Kyle Hamilton. Now that might be worth it.
They got somebody.
I don't know.
Who do you think? Who would you package up?
You can do a lot with picks and future picks
Well, Rick,
and
man.
all that stuff.
I think you're gonna have to if they want him. That's who needs him most. That's where he probably fits best because of his incredible skill set, and he can take the ball to the house from anywhere. And how would you scheme for that? My God, I don't know what you do.
So he plays like Patterson?
Debo? Yeah.
Yeah, more passing, right?
Yeah.
But I think Debo, half his like a third of his catches came out of the slot and half of his catches came out of the backfield, right? And then he also got running plays and switches and everything else you can do with that. But yeah, he very rarely lined up, all the way on, on the outside. And
because if Rashad Bateman is what they think he could be, having a Debo makes his life so much easier.
And Mark Andrews.
But the question is, what do you have that they want that you could?
That's the question. Well,
I'll tell you what they had. They had 11 picks, including 6 in the 4th round.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
So if you take 2 fourths and trade up for a third,
yeah,
right? Or you take 6 fourths and trade up for 3 thirds.
Yeah.
And you take 3 thirds and trade up for 2 seconds, right? You take 2 seconds and trade up for a first, right? You can
get whatever you want, right?
You don't have to draft that ridiculous 4th round and you pick up Debo Samuels, right? Like it's just like.
Well, listen, maybe you mortgage the future a little bit and you say, listen, you can take my 23 and my 24 first rounders and maybe even one of those second rounders. Take Gus Edwards maybe, or maybe not Gus Edwards, but only reason I keep throwing out a running back is because you got to throw somebody out there that can somewhat has a skill set, maybe not like Debo, but something. You got to do something.
You can use right now.
Yeah, that you can use right now. So, it's going to be interesting to see if Debo even ends up out of there, and then 2, if the Ravens pull the trigger on that. I'll tell you somebody that I enjoyed watching what they did in the draft.
Hey, Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah.
Ja'Marr Hasty, right? Who had a couple 150-yard games last year. And then Trey Sermon, who they drafted high, big last year. So like that, they're in the same situation.
Not bad. Yeah.
Who is Trey Sherman?
What's that?
Who is Trey Sherman?
I knew this during fantasy season.
That's funny. While you look Trey up,
he went to Ohio State. He got drafted last year.
He went to Ohio State?
Yeah, he got drafted in the 3rd round.
Where was he at the first 3 years?
What's that?
Where was he at the first 3 years?
Okay.
They got him in the league, man.
You should have known you was being set up.
Boomer! Hey, Oklahoma was busy during draft, wasn't he?
Oh my goodness.
We got him in the league.
You got set up and it's fine.
You just threw him the lob and he just
that's fine. I'm gonna tell you the sneaky group that I thought, other than my own squad, that did great in the draft, and that to me is the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, we go to Chicago and everything, man. You got to do that.
Yeah, I think the Tennessee Titans did. I think some things fell into their lap that made their draft special. Because they should not have gotten Treylon Burke, in my opinion. That should not have happened, and it did. They should not have gotten Malik Willis, and they did. They shouldn't have gotten Roger McCreary, and they did. I don't know how Tennessee just sat still and allowed things to fall into them.
And they did what Baltimore should have done, right? They traded a $100 million commitment for a $4 million commitment that everybody's saying, he looks he walks like a duck.
Walks like a duck, right?
Like a duck.
Right.
Might be a duck.
If they get 800 yards out of Treylon,
that's A.J. Brown.
That's A.J. Brown. They've done, and they got it for $96 million less. So,
and by the way, they may have got their future quarterback.
Well, speaking of that, y'all heard the nervous press conference that Tannehill did the other day.
No,
I don't have to help him. He just learned from me.
Apparently, Tannehill went to therapy 3 months ago in preparation for this.
Bruh, calm down. I was like, bruh, calm down. Like you're that nervous? But maybe you should be though, because he damn sure throws a better deep ball than you do.
He should be nervous.
Right
He
now.
definitely should be nervous.
So maybe he should be nervous. Maybe
I mean,
writing's on the wall. I don't know, but he is. The only other person I've seen do that pre-draft was Ben Roethlisberger. Or post-draft was Ben Roethlisberger. I don't have to teach to back up anything. And it worked out for him. I don't know if it's going to work out for Tannehill, though.
Don't this Tennessee team, by drafting Malik Willis and got that running game, don't this team kind of remind you of Baltimore? How they go? And it's like, that's a recipe for winning defense and running the football.
Hey, Tennessee or Tannehill should be very scared.
He should be.
Ryan Tannehill's a $39 million cap hit this year.
Yeah, I'm nervous for him.
He's a $37 million cap hit next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Very
nervous for him because if Malik Willis's skill set comes in and it's similar in any way at baseline to what Ryan Tannehill does in year one, Ryan Tannehill will not be the quarterback of the Tennessee Titans. Because I'm not going to pay a dude that has the exact same skill set as the dude over here. That doesn't make any sense.
How many games do you think it would take for him to get his job taken?
Not
He may
long.
not take any games.
I was gonna say not long. It might happen in preseason.
Can I say this about Malik Willis?
Yes, sir.
Right now. Right now. He better than Trey Lance right now. Ryan Tannehill better be scared.
I can't disagree with that. I cannot disagree with that. Because to me, and oh God, I hate to talk about a guy this way, but I think it's just the truth. To me, he's smarter than Trey Lance right now.
And I know why you say that. I get that.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
The stuff that I've seen him do,
Yeah.
he does it deliberately. Whereas Trey Lance stumbles into stuff like, oh, he's open. Oh, okay. Oh, that worked. Oh, okay. It ain't tripping.
Progressions, reads, all this stuff.
Yeah, he's more mature. That's the better word.
His game, his understanding, his progressions, his timing,
Yeah.
the speed. He's just more mature in his development, right?
Which is
Maybe
why-
not smarter.
Which is why Tannehill probably should keep those therapy sessions going. Probably.
Can I go a step further?
Uh-oh. Come on now.
Trey
Yes, it's a
Lance?
Patriots-led front office, and yes, it's a Patriots head coach. I get it.
No,
Is that where we were going? I don't think that's where we were going.
Trey Lance is going to be the reason a bunch of folk up at the top get fired.
Wow.
Oh, man. You took it a different way. I wasn't prepared for that, but you might be right. I don't know. Well, listen. There's two teams right now that have a mess on their hands, and they got to figure it out. And now, and that's San Francisco, because it's a mess. It's a hot mess right now. And then the others is obviously the Cleveland Browns, although their mess isn't quite as big as the other mess because they do have their quarterback of the future. They just got to figure out what to do with the malcontent.
They got a little bit of a mess down there in Arizona.
Well, they
I think
picked
it'll
up.
be worked out though.
Yeah, they picked up the option. I guess it's fine for a year. We'll see. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's everybody's agreed to play nice for a year.
Now, Cam, whenever you say about Trey Lance, so do you advise him keeping Jimmy G?
Y'all know how I feel about that. You know how I feel about Jimmy G. Hey, it's one stat I'm going to throw out there. What's the stat, Jesse?
70% winning.
70% of the games. I'm a ride down with it.
But you can't though.
If
At some point, Trey Lance got to hit the field. You gave up first rounds for this dude.
I told you, a lot of people going to get fired for this. You better find a way to move them. Hey, let me tell you who did a great job of moving the quarterback that you gave the house for. The Indianapolis Colts.
Fantastic.
You better recognize what you got and you better fix it now. You can't make it worse.
Well, I tell you what, let's go to that question number 2 right now.
And by the way, you can't have a $27 million backup quarterback on your roster.
No, you
That's
cannot.
not how the NFL salary cap works.
That is correct, sir. You are correct, sir. Let's go to that question now. How do you grade your team's draft? I can go first if you like. Mine is easy.
Lord, you need to relax.
What?
You need to relax, man. Your team did okay, man.
No. I was about to say I would actually give my team an A. I think they did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Okay.
The thing that had me nervous pre-draft is they kept using the language of "we're gonna take the best available," and I've been in a bad relationship with Gettleman who used to say that same shit, and I was like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear you saying best available. Stop saying that. But what they did and what they meant by that was best available to our needs. And I like that. And that's exactly what they did. They went and got the edge rusher we needed. They went and got the offensive tackle we needed. They went and got a receiver that we needed. Then they started building depth. That's all Giants fans have ever wanted them to do. Let's get back to our identity. Let's draft to our needs. Let's stop trying to take the superstar name and let's just do what we do. We've never been a franchise that took the superstar name. We just do what we do. And that has worked for us. So they got back to that, and I thought listen, one thing I feel confident in now, we got the right GM. Now, I don't know if we got the right coach yet. Feels like we do, but we definitely got the right GM.
Your coach is in Pittsburgh.
Well, maybe. We'll see. Because let me say this. What Brian Daboll has done and because I've kept up with the all the stuff that he's done to this point. He's doing all the right things. All of the right things. But we ain't even got the OTAs yet. So I don't know if that means he's doing the right thing. But it looks like he's doing all the right things. So and they got the right picks in. So I'm very happy with it. So I give him an A. There was only one questionable pick for me.
Who would that be?
The Joshua Izudu. When you look at him, he's a project, but I know that they have the inside track on him. They went to North Carolina. One of the coaches worked him out personally. So I think the reason why they feel so good about it, because that was kind of a reach pick. Like, why are you taking him? But I think they worked him out personally, kind of similar to Kenny Pickett. They knew Kenny Pickett was their guy because they worked on Kenny Pickett. They saw him. He was right around the corner. So I get it. I don't think that was the right pick, but but you go with the one you know rather than the one that is a mystery to you. You know what I mean? So I get why they did it, and I get why we did it. There were other players there, and so there were other players there. When did the Kobe Dean go? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So I get why you did it. I just don't know why you did it. But listen, if he brings that depth that we're looking for at the guard position, you get no peep out of me. So I think the Giants did very, very well. So what about the Patriots? What about the Cowboys? What about the Colts? What grade would you give them?
Well, I got 3 numbers: 16, 9.
How the fuck is that a grade, Chad?
Hold on, let me finish what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got to pull up. You got to pull up. Pull up, Jesse.
So what grade you give him? He said I got 3 numbers. 16.
Pull up, Jesse. Pull up.
Give me a second, I'm getting there. I'm going around the corner. What's going on? Okay, so I said 16, 9, and 7. Those were the penalties for Tyler Smith at 16, Sam Williams at 9, Jake Ferguson at 7 for 2021. For a team that's already been having trouble with penalties.
So you asking yourself, okay, we have a penalty problem, and we just picked up 3 guys that have penalty problems.
Exactly. And I feel like our grade would be a C because, I mean, it's a lot of upside to these picks. I mean, Tyler Smith, I woke up and saw Tyler Smith's picture. I thought I was looking at Notorious B.I.G. So I was like 6'4", 324. I mean, ran a 5'5".
You're a big boy.
Yeah, I mean,
You're a big boy.
so I mean, it's a lot of upside.
You can do something with that though. Put him in that middle.
Exactly.
Vince Wilford. You can do something with him.
So I mean, I like the feels like Dak like the Jalen Tolbert. They were connected before the draft, so I guess that was somebody he influenced him to pick. So I mean, it's upside, so we'll see.
Okay, all right. I think that's a fair assessment. It's 60. What was the numbers again? 16,
16, 9, and 7.
and 7. Wow.
Even backwards.
Wow. All right. And 16 was the first round pick, right?
The first round pick, yeah. But they said it was because he was just strong.
Well, we will see. And if it truly is just a technique issue, then you stole one. You absolutely stole one. Because technique can be cleaned up.
Yeah.
It can absolutely be cleaned up. I just
God, dog.
that's a lot of penalties, though. I will agree with you on that. Oh, you know what? Real quick, just to go back, I do love the fact that Kayvon Thibodeau and Ali Zazur are going to be playing opposite each other. That excites me.
With Blake in the middle. With Blake in the middle.
With Blake in the middle. That I got to be honest with you. That feels like we on our way back. We ain't had a pair like that since OC and JP.
Yes.
So I'm kind of excited. I'm excited, and I'm telling them, stay away from the 4th of July. But we gonna just keep. Okay. What about the Colts and the Patriots? What are we talking about? Or the Bucks? Who are you tonight, Jesse?
I'll do Pats.
Okay, cool.
I go. You go ahead, Jesse. You want to?
Cole Strange. I mean, I don't know what Bill may be 10, 20% smarter than everybody else out there, but is he like a round and a half smarter than everybody else out there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's a lot. Like even Tyquan Thornton out of Baylor, right?
Yeah.
6'2" receiver with their next pick, but like Sky Moore was still out there.
Yeah.
So it's like that. There's a couple of things I don't know. Like their third pick was a special teams play, right? They got a 4.28 guy out of Houston.
Yeah, Mark
Jones.
During the draft, Jesse called me. He said, "This is why I picked the way I picked on the show." Look at what Bill doing.
That's right. I picked the punter. I picked 3 offensive linemen. I picked the special teams player. We picked a quarterback. We got the next backup quarterback. We got the next Brian Hoyer for the next 15 years behind Mac Jones.
Hey,
out of
Jesse.
Western Kentucky, Bailey Zappi.
Jesse,
get some
it seemed like comedy last week until they actually did the
We
pick.
drafted punters.
Damn, maybe Jesse was right.
We
They
drafted
tapped into your phone. They
quarterbacks
tapped
and
into their
punters
phone.
and special team players and
Yeah.
Well, hey, Jesse, during the draft, wasn't you on the phone with Bill when you was on the show?
They tapped in with you.
Maybe yours.
Well, let me say this, Jesse. I love Pierre Strong. I really think there's a lot of upside to him.
But he's their next James White, right?
Right. So yeah. So it's weird.
He's
But
purely a play catching,
yes.
back out of the backfield. So
Yeah, exactly. So I love that. I agree with you. And to be honest with you, pre-draft, I love Cole Strange. I think he's a solid lineman. I don't know about taking him in the first round. but I wouldn't mind having him 6'5", 307. It's a nice lineman. And especially for what we need in the run blocking for like Saquon, he would have been perfect.
We say that, Lord. But here's the thing: we have never questioned anybody Bill's pick. They have all panned out. You better leave
that,
it alone.
and that's why you almost got to stall him out, because it's like,
We may be talking about Zappy out of Western Michigan or Western Kentucky or wherever the hell he threw 62 touchdowns last year. We might be talking. Yeah, I mean, who knows what we're talking? Him about, right?
He lit Charlotte up. We seen him.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, Draxon Hall was still out there, right? Jalen Petrie was still out there, right? Dean was still out there. Brees Hall was still out there. Like that, a lot of picks over that first rounder. That it's just pure talent. Like
we may not say that 3 years, 4 years from now.
What would you grade him?
I mean,
by the way, I is an exceptional grade.
It's in Bill we trust, right? Like it's, you say we filled some needs, we jump up super early. Like what else were we going to draft in the first round, right? They don't draft anything in the first round, right? They don't draft wide receivers. They don't draft quarterbacks. They don't draft.
That's very true.
So, if that's who they thought was the best in the draft and it fell to them, they were going to grab him there. I give him probably a B+.
Okay.
Because of all my faith in Bill. Right. And this is a team, and he's always, you look at the talent on that roster right now, and we're not impressed, literally, like super impressed by many of them, right, in any capacity. And so, they're going to be what they're, again, they drafted to their identity. We're going to go get somebody we think can be a very special teams player for us, right? We may lock down our punter position for the next 5 or 6 years, right? And stay cheap so that we can, afford to invest in other in other places. We get a guard position that's going to protect Mac. That's our future. But I think they did everything that they always do that's true to them. They just have to continue to pan out.
Yeah. All right. And finally, the Colts. Did they draft?
I love what my team did.
Okay.
Oh boy, I'll tell you why. Alec Pierce, the receiver out of Cincinnati, he can stretch the field. He got speed. He go across the middle, do it all. We got Jelani Woods, the tight end out of Virginia. I like him because he can block first and still catch, still run good routes, and he's a tough matchup.
Big boy. He's a big boy.
He's a tough matchup. Of course, Bernard. I mean, you got an O line. You got to retool that offensive line. Nick Cross, I think he was a steal. Okay, and we'll be talking about him with a defense that's already good. So he kind of fits in there, right? Eric Johnson defense, I like it. Ogletree, the other tight end, I don't know what that thing is. That boy like a transformer out there. That guy is like a machine. And then, of course, Curtis Brooks and Rodney Thomas. But it all started before the draft with me, with our team.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you got to look at what you had last year and say, what are we missing that we didn't make? We didn't get there. Well, we know what the obvious thing is for us is
head coach.
Stop.
Wow. That was dumb. That's
Oh,
dumb.
man.
That's
We
dumb.
know what the obvious thing is, right?
Yeah.
And so when you go get a quarterback, you just say, hey, is he better than what we had? And how much better is he what we had? So if we was grading us as a F in quarterback, we moved all the way up to a B, maybe.
Well, what's interesting about what you guys did to me? It appears that they're going to abandon this concept of attack downfield and get back to some Colts things that used to be there.
I love it.
Yeah, when Peyton was there. Let's take what's there. Let's take what's in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah. What the running game we got now?
Which might be perfect. Right, which might be perfect
Yeah.
for what that Ryan skill set is now, as opposed to what it used to be. So this is an interesting switch in philosophies by the Colts, because I think that's where they're headed. They're gonna and they're doing it in a division where they probably need to do that, where ball control is going to be pretty damn important.
Speaking of ball control, You know, we traded out. We traded our number 1 pick last year,
Right.
and we traded that to San Francisco.
Philadelphia.
San Francisco for Buckner. So when we got him, he has plugged the entire front line. Like our D line is what that is because of him, right? And
Right.
then you got Leonard playing behind him, who's one of the best, or if not the best linebacker in the game. And like I say, right before the draft, I'm telling you right now, that Stephon Gilmore signing was major. So
That's actually good. That was really good.
I feel like we cleaned up. I feel like we cleaned up in free agency and did that part because we knew what we had and picks we had in the draft, and we still made good with the picks. So I would give my team an A from the picks that we had. I couldn't be straight up.
Yeah. No.
I think that grade is all dependent on what Nick Cross turns into being.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. It's. Well, I mean, all of its own potential. It's.
And he
Yeah.
If he's the best safety in the league, he still wouldn't be starting on our team because we got Blackman and we got Moore. So he's gonna fit in. That's what I'm saying. He's gonna come in, spell time. That is the reason why I'm so scared of Baltimore. Because Peter's gonna be like the people they're gonna be having coming back and the people they drafted, it don't even make sense.
Right. Well, listen, it was. I'll say this. I think a lot of teams did well. Like when I was looking at the draft grades, I couldn't really argue with anybody's grades. I was like, I mean, teams went and got what they needed. Way more so. It wasn't a lot of reaching this year, where it has been in the past. It was like more like just get what's there, get what you need, fill the holes. And so that was. I was surprised at the run on wide receivers. I won't lie to you about that. I was shocked at how many wide receivers. They clearly think this is one of the best wide receiver classes in the history of the NFL. And it might be. It may turn out to be. We'll see. But they're a lot higher on a lot of these guys than I think maybe I am. So, but anyway.
Cam and I had a question.
What's it, Jess?
I was just saying, Cam and I had a conversation during the draft about New Orleans, and they had 2 first-round picks, and everything that they picked was around that pocket, right? They got a lineman and they got a wide receiver, right at 12. So I called Cam in the middle of the first round. I said, "Who are they picking these guys for? Jameis Winston?"
Yeah.
Well, that was strange. I mean,
picking this so we thought something else was going to come, right? That there's going to be something else. There's
I'm with
still
you.
something to drop in New Orleans because you don't go get that. You don't spend your 2 first-round picks in a rebuild situation, right?
Yeah.
And center them around Jameis Winston. I don't think.
Well, listen, I'm high on. I talked about Trevor Penning on Believe in the ACC. I think he's a phenomenal offensive tackle, and I think he's plug and play. I was shocked that Chris Olave went to the Saints. I was like, that's not really what they need. They got Michael Thomas, and I'm assuming he's coming back healthy. So, but I don't know. Maybe they know something about Michael Thomas that we don't know. So
if they start over, if they in the rebuilding stage, they may do away with Michael Thomas. They may trade.
and that may be what's going on. Maybe they're saying
they got Callaway last year.
Yeah. So maybe they're saying we got to start all over, and we know that. Maybe Jameis is the perfect stopgap to help us get to the quarterback we really want. And I don't know. It was a very interesting pick, to say the least.
Well, I'm in the boat with you, Lloyd. There was no reach in the draft to me. The only surprise out of the entire draft that I saw was that Baltimore didn't get Deebo Samuel. That was the only surprise. They had all the picks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They could have. You thought they might. What were you gonna say, Chad? I'm sorry.
I was just saying. So, as far as unsure on the New Orleans quarterback situation, is there any way that a deal could be finagled for Baker Mayfield?
No, Baker Mayfield.
Well,
there's one spot for Baker Mayfield, And that team is just waiting for him to get released because it'd be cheaper for them to get him.
Well, I'll say this. Here are the quarterbacks that are available, that are clean available. Cam Newton, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Mike Glennon, Blake Bortles, Josh Rosen, AJ McCarron. There's not one person on that list you want if you're the Saints. So now,
As a starter.
So now that makes sense to me to keep Jameis in that regard. Going to get Baker, is Baker better than Jameis? You know what I'm saying? So
the fact that we got to think that hard,
right. So
it just starting the same, being the same wavelength as far as
which is one of the reasons why, to Jesse's point and the Cam's point, it made the Chris Olave pick go. I don't know why you did that, but again, maybe they're seeing 3 years down the road or 2 years down the road, because I'm hearing 2023 there could be as many as 7 quarterbacks to go in the first round.
What do y'all think about Atlanta as far as getting Desmond Ridder and then Drake London?
That was good, bro.
Yeah, I thought they did well as well. I think Desmond Ridder may be exactly what they need. But I don't know. It's a very, like I said, I can't fault anybody. I don't know if anybody failed in the draft.
Yeah.
Like my only question, I'm not picking on them, I'm just saying, was the Cowboys, because they did some stuff that made you go, well, that's different. But then they did address needs, so you can't really be that mad at them because they.
Yeah, Lord, but it started with Amari Cooper. Like what?
Right. That's and by the way, they haven't really addressed that. So either they feel like they got the guys on the roster, which they may, because Gallup and CeeDee Lamb are good receivers. Although we're going to find out how good now, because they will not be as open this year as they were last year. So
they need to bring back Cole Beasley, man.
He left so ugly, bro. It was so bad.
I was gonna say that was a bad breakup.
Yeah,
that was a bad breakup. So I don't know.
That's who they need. But.
One last thing before we go into question 4 in the playoffs. How will this DeAndre Hopkins suspension affect the Cardinals, the NFC West as a whole, and the NFC? How do you think he will win the appeal?
No,
because it doesn't feel like the I didn't know flies well with Roger Goodell.
It's never worked with Roger.
It hasn't worked thus far. But my only thing is the timing of him testing negative was a positive. I guess I just depending on how you look at it was weird. Because how do you test October negative, December negative, November you're positive? That is very strange to me. So I don't know.
They say what the substance was that you literally took.
I have not heard that. Have you guys heard what the substance was yet? Yeah, I haven't heard it either. But what substance lies dormant in your body for a month, but reveals itself in 1 month and then goes back to being dormant? Like I don't
know. It would have to be a substance that had a shelf life on a test. So if he did cocaine and it was out of his system in 3 days, but he got tested the day after he did it, right? He wouldn't pop before or after, but he'd pop there. So,
but that's not who he's been for 10 years. That's not who he's been. So why now? Like I don't know. I don't know.
He's been out there.
You asking for motive now? That's not when we started this conversation.
It's not. You're right. You're 1,000% correct.
Look, I don't know why a man does what a man does.
I don't know why. Now, well, to that point, Jesse,
Amber Heard can beat me all she wants. That's all.
I don't know about it. Now you're stretching. I'm not. This is a year where he felt the injury bug more than he ever has. So maybe that's the reason. Maybe it was like, I got to do something. I don't know. But it's just, I don't know. It's such a, I don't know.
It may not even be his fault. I'm just saying I don't think that matters.
Well, see, then there's another problem we're talking. I didn't know. I didn't know what was, I trusted some people.
No, but that's what the NFL says. But you're a $4 billion franchise, right?
Yeah.
Pay people who know, and you're making $20 million a year. Pay somebody that knows, and make sure that nothing comes across these lips or gets injected into this body.
Yeah.
That this person who knows has fully qualified, or else is going to take all the financial responsibility for, right, through an insurance policy. And if the team's not providing that, which they should, then the players should be responsible for it themselves. And so whether he knew or not,
there's my problem, Jesse, because I'm not, man, listen, I'm just not sticking everything and anything in me, on me, around me. There's too much to lose.
Yeah.
So I don't know. How do you think that affects? Does that hurt Arizona?
they're the same as they were before they got Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
I think they're the fourth best team in the NFC before the Hollywood Brown trade, and I think they're the fourth best team when DeAndre Hopkins is out. They've proven they can win without him, so
Well, it comes up to Kyler be able to close games.
I was gonna say, did they really prove it though? Because they didn't finish well.
Yeah, he needs to close games better than he did last year.
Yeah, that was more of a Kyler Murray thing, though.
But that's goes into the success and the failures of the Cardinals, though. So I don't know. We'll see. I guess with
JJ Watt getting hurt, all kind of stuff.
A lot of things went wrong. He got hurt when right before the bye week or around the bye week in November.
Yeah.
Is that when Hopkins got hurt?
I think so. And then AJ Green's supposed to be coming back, huh? This year. So that maybe they'll.
Well, the reason why I'm asking that is because if it was around the bye week, they went 2-4 after the bye week.
One of those games against Dallas.
One of those games was one of the wins was against Dallas. Just wanted to remind us of that. I see what you did there. So I don't know. I don't know. I honestly, I don't know what to think about.
Listen. They played better than the expectations, and they got caught. Arizona was blowing the field away from me. Not like that.
Well, prior to the bye week, they were 9-2, and we all thought maybe this is the year. And then after the bye week, the wheels fell off. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this, if they are truly the fourth best team, like Jesse said. Oh, thank you, James. Appreciate you, man. That is correct. He is out 6 games as of now. We will see where it goes from here. So, all right, let's talk some basketball before we get out of here tonight. Your thoughts on what's happening on the East Side right now? Miami is dog stomping Philly.
I can answer that for everybody on the app. Find you a coach.
What?
I don't want. I hate to say it too, man.
Doc Rivers is about to go to Will Smith on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air route. How come they don't want me? Like I don't know, man.
Told you, man.
So you just hang it up after this year? Just don't coach
no. He got too much credibility to hang it up.
I don't know.
James Harden right now, as we speak, in real time, is 5 for 11 from the field, 1 from 4 from the 3-point land, with 3 turnovers. This is a guy who, for 3 years in a row, was a scoring champion. He's an MVP. They made one rule change. It said you can't do that weird basketball move he was doing to draw foul. And ever since then, it's like he's lost. He's like he don't know what to do.
Are they playing in Miami?
He's Will Ferrell. He's Will Ferrell in Talladega Nights. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know.
Are they playing in Philadelphia or Miami?
They're in Miami right now.
There you go. Where's my?
But why does that matter?
Man, Miami. He's been partying, man. He's been partying. He's been partying.
Well, he's gonna party wherever he is. That is not true just of Miami. He's gonna party wherever he is. You don't think he has scouted out the best strip clubs in Philly?
I don't know.
They probably know him on a first name basis.
Are they better than Miami though?
The strip club? Touche. I mean, that's probably touche. I don't know, man. Maxey, by contrast, has 14 points as well.
Yeah.
One guy is in position to get a $250 million contract. The other guy is trying to make $25 million.
I mean, they're without Joel Embiid too, man. So I mean,
I don't know, man.
That's tough. That's tough to try to know. That's a big part missing right there.
I don't know. It's a strange situation to me. I don't understand how a guy fell off that far that fast. Now, he is nowhere near the player he was.
Hey.
I mean, am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong, fellas.
I'm glad I'm not Daryl Morey right now.
I mean,
Well, Daryl Morey, I don't know. You gave up a lot. Ugh.
A lot. How much did you give up? A lot. Shout out to 21 Savage.
A lot.
A lot. You gave up a lot.
yeah. If he was in Houston right now, he'd probably have 30 points right now. I mean, I don't know. I don't know either what's going on with him, but maybe it's underlining that he's hurt somewhere.
If I'm the owner of the Philadelphia 76ers, every time I walk past his office during the day, Daryl Morey, I just stand in the door and go, because I'm pissed. I am pissed. I just, man. Yeah. Matter of fact, play it a little bit, and I'm the owner standing in the door.
How much money you got? How much money you got? How much money?
I'm actually asking Daryl Morey that question because I'm about to fire his ass. I'm telling you, bruh, do you know what you just did to me? And I'm not saying that the Ben Simmons thing wasn't going to have to be dealt with, because it was. I was going to deal with it one way or another. But there were a ton more different ways I could have gone.
Yeah, that Curry is hurting right now, too.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
I don't.
All right. In a 7-game series, can your Celtics rebound? Can they? Do you think they got it figured out, Jesse?
I don't know, man. They got me confused.
I agree.
Because you watched that first game and they were absolutely punched in the mouth. And that was pretty much full strength, right? And then game 2, without Smart, without the defensive player of the year, you're up by 20 for the majority of the game.
Say that right.
So
they got punched in the mouth by the champs.
Yep. Yeah,
that's
they
a
did.
Big difference. See, that's a big difference. Like, okay, we can rebound from that. These are the champs.
Do you think they didn't realize that Milwaukee has gotten that much better? Like, is it a little bit of a shock there?
I don't think it was a shock. I don't think it was a shock. I think they just know when it's your night, and the shots were falling that night, and so I don't think it was a shot.
Yeah, but it's also the way you lose too.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like that's tough for Jesse to accept, even if you win the next game. But Chad, when you lose, when you used to be a Dallas Maverick fan, when you lose the way the Mavs lose, like that's different. No, seriously.
Yeah,
that's different. The way the Mavs lost versus the way the Celtics lost. I had to go back and look at the Celtics stuff, but I think we got a series, boys.
I think so too. I think it's not going to be it's going to go 6 or 7. It feels like it.
I'll tell you what, Vegas didn't feel like I felt going into game 2 because the Celtics were still 5-point favorites at tip-off without Marcus Smart
right
after the whooping they took 2 nights ago. So whatever that means, I just it hurt a little differently as a fan.
It was actually really interesting in that they. Man, it was just a tale of two cities, like a tale of two teams. Like
exactly.
I was
Jekyll
like,
and Hyde, right?
where was this team the other night? But maybe they put so much stock and respect into the Brooklyn Kevin Durant whole experience that maybe, perception is reality to people. And maybe they perceive Kevin Durant as a much greater threat than they perceive Giannis. I don't know, but
no, I don't think that's the case. I think the 6 days might have hurt them a little bit, right? In the playoffs, be it carrying that momentum through versus having a long break like that.
Having a break, yeah.
But listen, we're still talking about rookie coaches here, and the way that they came out and were prepared for and took care of business in the first 2 quarters of that game too. I mean, that's the way that team played, the way they were passing the ball, was just you got to give a little bit of that to the coach too, right? On how they adjusted.
At 1,000%. So let's talk about that on the West Side as well. You talked about rookie coaches. I'm gonna say something, and I'm just saying it because I think it's true. If Tyler, is it Jenkins? His last name Jenkins?
Jenkins.
If Tyler Jenkins does not figure out a strategy better than let Ja score, this is going to end in 5. Because you're not going to keep escaping. And right now you're escaping. Like you got away with it last night. It worked. But that ain't a strategy. That's not a strategy to beat a team.
Yeah.
So and again, rookie coach, young, never seen this moment before, trying to figure it out, trying to talk your guys through. I get it. But you got to figure out a better strategy on the offensive side of the ball and over the long haul, you're not going to outshoot this team. At least history has not told us that you are.
We missed a lot of shots last night. It's a lot of shots we missed.
And see, that's what I'm saying. That momentum is going to be there in this Saturday. So I just think this is a flawed strategy. They stole last night. It worked, but it ain't a recipe for long-term victory. And I can say the same thing about Dallas. Dallas got to figure out who they're trying to be. Let Luka cook ain't a strategy.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's not a strategy. I'm sorry, Jason. That's not a strategy.
You got all year. And that ain't what you've been doing all.
And that's not what got you to where you are. So I don't know why we're trying it now. Like, what is the? Yeah. I don't know. But that's not a strategy. That's not a way to win against a really good team.
I think Dinwiddie does need to step up a little bit more.
How can he step up, Chad? He can't even get the ball.
He can't get the ball. I was gonna say they got it.
I mean, I know Luka's on their ball hog stuff, but I mean, Luka's got to be able to trust him a little bit more. He got to, because they're gonna be zoning in on Luka, so he got to get the ball some type of way, and he got to be trusted because
the only thing I do like about what Memphis is doing is that they seem to be telling Ja, get yours in the fourth. So that strategy for Dallas might actually be the right strategy. Let Brunson get off. Let Dinwiddie get his. Now Luka cook in the fourth, and we'll support you. Right? We'll be open to make those plays. That may work for them. It's not going to work for Memphis long term, but it could work for Dallas because they have the guys that can one-on-one go get those shots. But I don't like either strategy for either team personally. But
Well, what I do think is that Jason Kidd is smart enough to make the adjustment and do what he got to do.
well, we'll see tonight. We will see tonight.
Gary Payton is out for 3 weeks. Gary Payton is sick.
Just 3 weeks.
Who?
Really?
GP2. Gary Payton is sick.
Well, you know what? I would say that's a win.
Lloyd, a broken elbow ain't what it used to be.
Apparently not. I would say that's a win.
That technology.
Because I honestly thought he was done.
For a minute.
Yeah, I thought he was done. I thought we'd see him in October.
Well, he might have to go to a shooting camp after breaking an elbow, right?
Well, there's gonna be.
The only thing I have to say about the Suns and the Mavericks series is Luka had 45 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, played 44 minutes, took 30 shots, went to the free throw line 14 times, right? Like, that's not sustainable.
Suns will take that all day.
It's not sustainable,
right?
44 minutes a game and 30 shots and 14 times. He got fouled 14 times. Like, that's just gonna, I don't know. I think
to that same point, Ja Morant, 31 shots or 15 of 31, 5 of 12 from the 3, 12 of 13 from the free throw line. No other player on his team got to the line more than 4 times.
That's the James Harden-esque what those dudes doing.
It's not sustainable. There's not been a team in the history of basketball that can, with those stat lines, that's won a championship. And it's not going to be one now. You're not winning like that. You're not winning like that. So it's going to be interesting to see the adjustments that they make. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know. Let's go back to something real quick. Is Doc about to be fired? Is that what I'm hearing you guys say? Like, it's inevitable at this point? Because technically this is not his fault.
Bye-bye, Doc.
Somebody has to take the fall for it.
Hey, Lloyd, I take offense to that. And I think
I know where you're going.
I think Seth Curry takes offense. It's his son-in-law, right?
I mean, Doc said go back and check his record. When you go back and look at that Orlando team, there's a miracle that we got there. And yeah, we were in the bubble, and nobody wanted to be in the bubble. And you know, the one collapse, that wasn't our fault either. And listen, yeah, I made those comments about Ben Simmons, but was I wrong? I mean, all I know is excuses are tools of incompetence that build monuments of nothing, and those that specialize in them never win anything.
Did Paul George tell us this already?
He did.
All right.
He was vilified for it too.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Doc may not lose a 3-1 series this playoffs or a 3-0 series, right? This playoffs.
Right.
But if they get swept by Miami, that'll be what? 6 out of 7 games? Have you ever heard of a team losing 6 out of 7 games at a playoff? Like,
and keeping his
I don't know
job.
how you do that streak in 7-game series, right? That's a tough streak to get.
Yeah. I have to agree with Raekwon on this one. If Luka scores 35 or more, they're gonna lose again. It's not a recipe to win. And I'm shocked that Jason Kidd is not. But again, that's one game.
Yeah, I think he'll make the
One game. So let's see what he does tonight. It's one game. I don't want to vilify him yet, but that's one game. But whoa, Jesus. That those numbers that you read off, Jesse, that ain't it. That ain't it. End of the third, Miami's up 91-80. Philly in striking distance. Do you even have to guess who's leading the team in scoring?
For who?
For Philly.
Maxey.
Absolutely. 24 points. 9 of 17 for 24 points. Now, James is 6 of 12. 18.7 assists.
Maybe he'll get his in the fourth.
Y'all hear that quiet?
But
That's
we're saying James is going to shoot 50% from the field and score 24, 25 points with 11 assists, and we're all super upset with him.
But that ain't the James they traded for.
Just say it.
They traded for the James that could be what he was in Houston.
25 and 11 with 50% from the field is
That's not bad. Most players, that's a hell of a night.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying this: that quiet you hear, that's James money quietly flying away. That 250 is just quietly drifting off into.
Is it landing on the stage? Or?
It's like a candle vapor. It's just quietly drifting off into nothing. They're not gonna pay that dude $250 million to put these numbers up. That's not what they traded for. They traded for an all-star, not a role player. He's playing like a role player now.
But will somebody do it? Not them, but will somebody take a chance?
Ooh, good question. Would somebody bring in 25 and 11? Yes. Hell, we'll take him. The LA will take him.
So he'll get his money somewhere.
Not for $250 million. No, we're not doing that.
Oklahoma City.
So you can't go home again?
Oklahoma City can't hit their own. They can't hit the salary cap as it is.
That's right. Yeah.
That's why Westbrook going back.
Man.
New Orleans? Nah, New Orleans is fine. They're in a good situation. Did y'all, by the way, can we talk about that for a second? I know we only got a few minutes left. Can we talk about the fact that Zion?
He lying.
Give it to me right now. I'll sign. Really?
To opt in and get traded.
I think he would sign, but not the contract that they think he would sign. It wouldn't be no 4 or 5 year deal. It'd be like a 2 year with an option out.
Prove it.
Yeah. It ain't gonna be no 3, 4, 5 year deal. No.
I mean, him being on that team that I saw would have made a nice little bit of difference. So
if he can stay healthy, which is the question mark.
I don't know.
All right. We got some interesting stuff going on in these streets right now. Anybody got any derby predictions as we get ready for shout outs?
I do.
Okay.
Memphis won't win another game.
Huh?
Memphis won't win another game.
Oh, you went back to that. Oh. They won't win another game? Golden State wins 3 in a row?
From your mouth to God's ears is what they like to say.
I can't even argue with you. I want to. But I can't even argue with you.
The Derby, I don't know any of the horses that are running. So
I was kidding about the Derby.
I
I barely know. Our guy Kendrick Haskins has been covering them all week. He sent me some names that he's been covering. If you guys would like me to send that to you, or any of the noisemakers would like me to send that to you, feel free. He feels strongly about these because he's got some inside information on them. So
I just picked the names that I like. So.
That's usually what people do. Like, it's not Derby ain't rocket science to most people. They're just like, that's a cool name. Let me get that one.
That sounds like the Cowboys draft.
That is also true.
Come on, man. Take
Look
some
at
off,
him,
man.
son.
Take some off. Oh, man. Jeez. Jeez.
Safe travel to our guy as he heads to Chicago. But he is not my only shout out tonight. I have to give a shout out, and I believe the young man's name is Isaiah Stewart. I believe that is his name. Let me confirm it real quick. Get on the page and confirm it. Where's he at? I'll jack that all the way up. Isaiah Stewart. I'm confusing him with somebody else. His name is Lester Wright. Yes, Lester Wright is the World War II veteran, 100 years old, showed up at the Penn relays and ran a 26:34 in 100 meters at 100 years old. Shout out to Lester Wright, still out here in these streets. He said, I still got these. I'll still smoke some of you whippersnappers.
Jeez.
Hey, that's impressive. 100 years old and you run the 26:34? That's not bad. Pretty good, sir.
Jeez. I need to know the life secrets to do
I need to sit with Lester Wright for about an hour, 2 hours and get all the secrets. How's he doing it?
Jeez.
How's he doing it? So I want to give him a shout out, a well-deserved shout out. And then my final one is somebody that I've always enjoyed watching him manage. Shout out to Dusty Baker. 2,000 wins. 2,000 wins, making him the first black manager to ever do it. 2,000 wins. That's impressive. I'm not sure why it has not produced a World Series championship yet, but shout out to Dusty Baker. All right, those are mine.
I'll go ahead and go. Shout out to my boy that got hitched this weekend, Wesley Smith, and his bride, Shaquanta Smith. I got to see my boy Lloyd this weekend, and
we hung out, man.
Yeah, got to see Reggie this weekend. So
in real life, we all hung out in real life.
In real life,
amazing.
That was great. So
all it takes is an invite, huh, Jesse?
You know what? You don't have to do that.
I've seen you during this time, Cam. Come on now. I got your invite, and I came. So
well, I'm moving now, Cam. I'm moving. I just need to know where we're going, and then line my checking and my savings up. You know where they work.
I'm not going to any Colts theme anything, so it's got to be a neutral site.
Oh wow.
In the famous words of Lloyd, that escalated real quick.
That escalated really quick. It's faster than we expected it. I gotta tell you.
So Cam, what I just heard is I only need to buy 3 tickets to the Colts Bears game.
That's what it sounds like, I guess.
Yeah, I'm there.
That's not solely Colts. That's Cowboys in that too.
It's a Colts thing.
Cowboys in that too. Then we make exceptions. So
hilarious. All right, gentlemen, what you got? What you got on the shout outs?
I'll follow your lead, Lloyd. I'll shout out Greg Popovich.
Yeah, man.
Old School's got 200 of the 4,700 players who have ever played one game in the NBA have played for Greg Popovich. That's 4% of every single player who's played one game in the NBA.
What a
played
stat.
for Greg Popovich. There's 30 coaches in the league. So these were the only 30 coaches that had ever played in the league, that had ever coached in the NBA, and they each had 4%. That's 120%.
Yeah.
So that's already too much, right? So, and then to think about 19 of the 29 head coaches in the NBA, right, other than Greg Popovich, have direct ties to Greg Popovich, right? They've either played for him or been an assistant on his team or been an assistant on the G team, right, the G League team, or They've been an assistant on a team that a Greg Popovich assistant just got hired as a head coach for, right? And of the 13 coaches, right, that don't have direct ties to Greg Popovich, 4 of them have Greg Popovich former assistants on their staff today.
Wow.
So when 70, when your legacy, when your impact while you're still in the game affects 70% of how the league coaches.
Come on.
From a culture perspective, you're impactful, right? You've made a stamp, an impact on your industry, and I think that's pretty amazing. Seeing those stats,
it's very amazing, very amazing, very amazing, very amazing. Take us home there, Cam.
Shout out to my therapist who makes it able for me to put up with you guys. And I
Well, in that case, we are shouting out your therapist.
Exactly. That and Jay Novacek.
I told my boy Tim I'd give him a shout out too. He traveled all the way down from Phoenix today. I had some pretty big important people come to my store today, and it was all good. But he loved the Cardinals. He like, I'm gonna listen if you give me a shout out and give a shout out to my Cardinals. So shout out to him. And
Which Cardinals does he love? Which Cardinals does he love?
Arizona.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but then shout out to John, man. I'm so proud of him. You know what I mean? Just it's a lot of this year. It was a lot of me, John, and Lloyd on the phone. Me, John, and Jesse on the phone. Lloyd and John on the phone. Jesse, John on the phone. Me, Lloyd, Jesse, John on the phone. Like and like he said, all that to get him.
Takes a village. Takes a village. Like he said, takes a village.
Yeah. So
and we still
proud of him. I'm very
proud. We still here. We ain't going nowhere.
Yes, sir.
Well, listen, we some proud uncles, man. That's why we had to have that uncle moment today. You know how it is when you send your child off somewhere. You going, okay, if I told him everything, did I tell him about this? Did I tell him about that? So you try to think of everything. But when he gave that final answer, I was like, okay, he's gonna be all right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's gonna be all right. He's gonna be all right. Shout out to Reggie Love. We miss him, man. Hopefully he can get back to us soon. But he's been a great husband, a great father. And we ain't gonna never take anything less out of him because we don't take anything less out of ourselves. So there you go. With that being said, that is Jesse right over there. That is Killer Cam down there. That's Chad Major. He produces this thing high on Sports Love. Y'all are the Five Nation.
Whoa! Breaking news. Breaking news. The Baker Mayfield thing is officially done.
Where's he going?
To the New York Giants.
Lies. I fell for that. Jesse, that's twice in one show. He got us twice in one show.
No, he got you twice.
He's twice in one show. He got me again. That's all right. You know what?
My man. I'm sorry.
That's all right. When he's the coach backup, we'll remember this.
Man.
Peace out, y'all.
Get you 10 when you're plugging in with the there's no mystery. Let's make history with the the strongest 2 and 3. Add 1 more plus me and do the 5. Yeah. Keep it on the floor.